All right, everybody, we're here at 4 out of 5 out of the year's top 5. The adventure continues in Mexico. And, okay, so we got married and we went around San Miguel and we were looking for a property, or more specifically, ruins to build upon. And so that next day, Chris took us to Atotonilco, the place of hot waters, and it's 7 miles northwest of San Miguel de Allende. And along the golden corridor of countryside into this tiny little village. And of course, San Miguel has its quaint charms, but Atotonilco is even quieter and quainter. And so Alicia and I were immediately like, wow, this town is so like stepping back in time. And just like you're in a whole new era when you go there. And so we drove into the main square, and we see this beautiful Baroque church. It's like a fortress church to the right, which we later found is known as the Sistine Chapel of Mexico because of its frescoes, and its, every inch of the church is covered with art or poetry. And so our realtor, Chris, was like, well, great, let's just take a look around then if you feel good about it. And we pull in front of the church, and right next to the church, right in front of us, are these ruins, and for sale posted above them. And we about lost it. We were just like goosebumps head to toe. And we're like, that's exactly what we were thinking. And in a location like this, in the center of Atotonilco, just a stone's throw from San Miguel, next to the Sistine Chapel of Mexico, holy smokes. And so Chris called the owner, and we walked around the ruins, and as you can see in the little video here, Alicia is on the hunt, and we were just blown away at just how it felt, and just how poetic the timing all was. And of course, we're a sucker for poetry and poetic timing. But we try not to get too attached to anything. That's the way it goes. It's all, just a chapter and leading you to where you need to go, even if that's not the destination necessarily. And so it's just kind of this open palm perspective of if it's right and if we're prepared, then great. And if we have the support, then great, because it takes a village to pull international ruins purchase and build and maintenance project together. And so what our plan is to build upon these ruins as a symbol of all of our ruins, and a place physically that we can go to meditate and to reflect on life and our relationship with this thing that we are, that will soon decay and crumble, and what we leave behind, and the things that have already been left behind for us, that may inspire pain of loss or brokenness of some regard, the new life that can be built upon those ruins if we choose to do so. And so working title for the project is The Rose of the Ruins, and I just love it. And so we'll be in touch if this project goes through. It hopefully will happen in the spring next year, or the transition from winter into spring. And of course, it'll be a community engaged project. So whether it be raising funds or organizing events at the ruins for people to be involved in the whole process, we want to start small, like our little miniature Sagrada Familia, if those of you who've been to Barcelona, build as we go, and have it be piece by piece, brick by brick, and stone by stone. And so that is very exciting, and we can't wait to move forward with it all, and hopefully we're prepared and ready to go with the proper support. And then, hopefully be something that everyone can be a part of. Very special. And so then another part of our story for our top 5 of the year of this episode, leading to the culmination of all the stories tomorrow, 5 out of 5. We were at our family reunion in Lake Chelan. This has to do with the Legacy group, actually. And kind of what I alluded to yesterday with the family involvement. We have members in our group who've lost children to suicide, spouses to disease, just a very potent and wide variety of loss, and how they're all suffering in different ways but can all support each other. And it's become a very beautiful, tight-knit family. Actually, just 10 minutes ago, we just got off our meeting today, and as always, it's incredible. Just love these people so much. I learned so much. But my grandfather tragically took his life before I was born, and it was something my mother's had to deal with for over 50 years. You know, very quiet grief and kind of silence for many reasons that have yet to be fully discovered, but she was able to tell a story of how you know, this new territory is navigated over time, and it needs to be done with support. You know, it's not a road you can go alone or should go alone. It's dangerous territory. And my uncle had been investigating quite a bit in regards to the stories of my grandfather, and turns out he was a songwriter. Of course, it's in the blood. And he was a soldier in the Korean War, and he was a veritable hero. He was an engineer who made the roads for the soldiers behind them as they waged through unfamiliar territory. And the nickname of his division was the Head of the Spear. And I saw this analogy of how my mom and her family essentially was now, so many years later, their own veritable heads of the spear, and how, looking back tragically, my grandfather withdrew and tried to make do with the resources, the meager support that was provided back then compared to now for trauma and such affliction. You know, he didn't have the support that he'd had today if he was still around. And it's interesting how just full circle we're providing in this group what maybe could have saved what was tragic back then if it only existed. But, you know, you gotta build, you gotta keep pushing through. And so, just since my mom's been a part of that group, it's been just such a special thing to have started this several years ago, and then for it to come around and to kind of fulfill a purpose within my immediate family. And we're hoping that through the things to be shared tomorrow in the next meeting, or in the next video, just how it can be more, you know, just a benefit for all, and how the symbols that have been created through this year can spread and lead to more opportunities for service and for growth and for connection. And so I looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for 5 out of 5. Thanks for tuning into these last 5, and I'm looking forward to sharing more as the year goes on and all the exciting things to come. So stay tuned for the final year top 5 mañana.